Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we just found out that the Ebola virus had a new outbreak in Congo. And in 2020, we have to know what is the Ebola virus and is it really the second time that it appears after the outbreak that we heard of in 2014? And is it really more dangerous than the coronavirus? We're going to talk about all of this today, so stay tuned. First of all, it's not the first time that the Ebola virus has an outbreak. In fact, the Ebola virus was discovered in 1976 in Congo, and that's why it's named after the Ebola River. And since that time, it had 33 outbreaks in that region, and the biggest one so far was in 2014, and that's why it had all this media coverage, and by the time everyone knew about the Ebola virus or heard about it. Now, how dangerous is it? The Ebola virus is really dangerous and lethal, and it has a mortality rate of about 50 to 90%, and this is pretty high, but its transmission is really not that contagious or not that much as of respiratory viruses, the ones that are airborne or the ones that are transmitted through droplets. It is transmitted through fluids or blood. So it stays in blood and it stays in seminal fluid, it stays in breast milk, and it stays in saliva. Now, the signs and the symptoms of the Ebola virus starts with a general state of weakness, fatigue, and pain, and then is followed by sore throat, headaches, then nausea and vomiting, and after that we get liver and kidney dysfunction, followed by failure, and also by the final stages a hemorrhage starts to appear, whether internal or external or both. It was reported, for example, in about 50% of the Ebola virus patients when they are injected with a needle at the place of the needle prick, you can find that there was a hemorrhage. Also, blood was reported to be found in stools and in urine. These symptoms, they start to appear from about 2 to 21 days after the first contact with the virus, and in most cases they start to appear at about 10 days. And the people start whether to recover or to die from the virus at about 2 weeks from the point where the symptoms started. So at this point we have to know, where did this virus come from originally? Actually, no one knows, but it's accounted for the wild animals that are present in that region of West Africa and Mid Africa. So, for example, monkeys, chimpanzees, pigs, and also, of course, bats. That's one thing. Another thing is the corpses or the dead bodies of the people who have been infected by the Ebola virus and died because of it due to the burial rituals in some areas, for example, in Guinea. So the bodies, they don't disintegrate properly. They are kept or they are mummified for some reason. And therefore these bodies, they become a source of infection because the virus stays there and anyone who comes in direct contact with these bodies can get the disease. What can we do to protect ourselves from contacting or from having the Ebola virus? If someone traveled to that area, they should be careful and take proper precautions, not get in contact with any wild animals. If they hear that there's someone who has the Ebola virus, they shouldn't get in direct contact with them. Use proper hygiene, so on and so forth. And for the medical personnel, they should protect themselves properly by wearing proper protection clothes and gear and masks, and not to touch any fluids or the blood of the patients directly. And if someone feels that they have these symptoms or signs, they should do the Ebola virus test because it has a very specific test. And you cannot just tell the Ebola virus from the symptoms. It has to be tested. It's a blood test or a urine or a stool sample that shows the presence of the virus. And as for the treatment, there's no official vaccine or an official treatment that is accounted for the Ebola virus or approved by the WHO, even though there are some antivirals, for example, like ribavirin, which has shown positive results in the trials, but is not available in the market. So the treatment mainly is supportive and relies heavily on the fluid compensation so that the patients don't suffer from hypovolemia or to sudden hypotension that can lead to death. So that's everything that we know about the Ebola virus. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. And if you like the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and also go to my website abdullahreda.com and subscribe there as well so that you get the new articles and updates that we post there. So in the end, I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.